Hey, Dan Cochimillo here with NorCal Sports Network with a video on the Los Angeles Dodgers. And are they bad for baseball? Before we get into that, let us thank our sponsor, Chapman Law Group. Check them out in the description of this video. And if you would give this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, greatly would appreciate it. It helps us out tremendously. Thank you. All right, guys, the Dodgers signing everybody under the sun, it seems. Just massive signings, massive payroll. Is this good or bad for baseball? A lot of different theories on that. A lot of people have different beliefs on this. Is it bad for the game that the Dodgers are loading up and just adding whoever they seem to want? And they have not lost out on any of the big signings when it comes to Shohei and Yamamoto and Sasaki, who were free to sign with any team, and yet they chose the Dodgers. And people are upset about it. If you're not a Dodgers fan, you think it's unfair. Well, let me give you my take on this. I am a Giants fan. You can see this is not a New York Mets hat or anything like that. This is a 1954 World Series champion New York Giants hat. Okay. I am a Giants fan from the Bay Area, and I cannot stand the Dodgers. But I'll tell you one thing. If I, as a Giants fan, get down on the Dodgers because of what they're doing, it's because, well, I'm jealous. Yeah, because I want my owners to act like this. I want my owners to spend money. I want the San Francisco Giants ownership group to put their money out and become a destination place. You can't become a destination place unless the players love you. The Giants are cheap. I mean, last year, for example, the Giants went to arbitration with J.D. Davis, and it was over like a couple of $1 million, not even that. And J.D. Davis won his arbitration hearing. The Giants actually went to arbitration, which is foolish because in an arbitration hearing, you're basically tearing down the player and saying why he's not worth the amount he's asking. And then the player representative is trying to prove why he is worth this. So it's like a divorce court or something. And the Giants foolishly let J.D. Davis go to arbitration. He wins the case. And what do? They cut him last spring, and he lost out on like $4 million because, and you wonder why people don't want to come to the San Francisco Giants, right? Okay, you treat people like crap, they're not going to want to come. And this is something that Farhan Zaidi did constantly, and the Giants ownership went along with it. And that stuff goes around, okay? And the LA Dodgers, they lay out the red carpet for their players. They treat them well. They treat their families. Everything is done perfectly. They redid their clubhouses, both the visitors clubhouse and the home team, state of the art. Why are they doing that? Because they want to treat the players right. And even in the visitors clubhouse, you go into the visitors clubhouse and you go, wow, this is nicer than our home clubhouse. Where do you think you're going to want to go when you're a free agent? All right. So the Dodgers are just running a first-class organization. Can I say that I am against that because that's what they're doing? No. I mean, do I dislike the team? Yeah, but I respect the heck out of them because they are doing what is necessary to win. And let me just show you guys something when it comes to ownership, okay? I want to show you guys the richest Major League Baseball owners and their net worth. So don't get me into this. Feel sorry for any of these owners. Steve Cohen, well, he's spending. Look, he's worth $20 billion. John Malone, the Braves, worth $10 billion with a B. Mark Walter, he's third, $6.2 billion with the Dodgers. Larry Dolan, the Cleveland Guardians, $5.5 billion. John Henry, the Red Sox, worth $5 billion. Arturo Moreno, the Angels, worth $5 billion. Charles Johnson, the Giants, nearly worth $5 billion. Thomas Ricketts, the Cubs, $4.5 billion. John Middleton, the Phillies, $4 billion. William DeWitt Jr., $4 billion of the Cardinals. Okay, the list goes on and on and on. Okay, I don't want to hear about it that these teams cannot spend. Okay, look, these teams need to just spend money. These owners, I don't feel sorry for one of them. Okay, they're worth billions, and we're talking about a $200 to $300 million salaries for payroll. Okay, and some teams are spending very low. Let me show you another interesting bit here. This shows a Scrooge index, how much teams are getting in revenue and how much their payroll is. Okay, look at the Yankees. They got $720 million in revenue, and I believe this is through 24. This is through on the score, and this was put out like 3 months ago. Okay, so we look at the Scrooge index. The Yankees are spending 52% of their money on payroll. Okay, now they're taking in 720 million, 376 million payroll. So they could even spend more, right? Now, look at the Dodgers, 637 million in revenue, 428 million. They're putting more toward payroll. These other teams could do this. All right. Now, granted, I understand there's other expenses, not just payrolls, not the only expense when it comes to a baseball team. You've got all the employees, you've got, some of these teams, they have to pay rent on their stadiums. They've got leases. In the case of the San Francisco Giants, when we get to them, you'll see they own their own ballpark outright. They don't have any payment. They're loaded, and they've got Mission Rock project that's making them tons of money. Look at the Red Sox, 224 million of payroll, 557 of revenue. Total Scrooge index, 40%. They're only putting 40% into payroll. Imagine if they put another 100 million into payroll, what the Red Sox could be. The Astros, 49%. Cubs. Okay, so these teams, don't feel sorry for any of these teams. The Dodgers are just doing what is available to them. And look at the Mets. Steve Cohen actually put more money into payroll than his revenue. Give him a hand. I mean, that's an owner that wants to win. Padres, 427 million in revenue. Look, these teams aren't hurting. Baseball revenue is up like 10% over the last year. So baseball is still growing. All right. Look at some of these other teams. And you can see the list. And I will go to the next page here and show you some of the other teams as we look at your team. I mean, the Diamondbacks, they're putting some money into their payroll, like the Dodgers, 66%. The Dodgers were at 67%. We see teams like, look at the Tigers. Mike Ilitch, one of the cheapest owners in all of sports. This guy's worth so much money, and yet he's only putting 36% of payroll into the team. That's ridiculous. 106 million out of 294 million in revenue. I think what baseball actually needs is a floor. They probably should have where each team should be spending $200 million minimum. Okay? If teams would actually spend money and do it, how about that? How about a $200 million floor where every team has to spend at least 200 million? Maybe that's a little high for some teams. Maybe it's 175. But come on, these teams are making money hand over fist. So do I think that the Dodgers, what they're doing is bad for baseball? No. I think other teams need to step it up and put their money where their mouth is, okay? Look, the Giants, they spend money, but they spend it foolishly, in my opinion. $9 million on Mike Yastrzemski. You didn't have to sign the guy. He's 34, going to be 35 years old in the season. Don't need to end up putting that kind of money out on a player who hasn't even hit like 230. The guy's, paying this guy this kind of money, just play the young kids. How about, they spent $25 million a year for 6 years for Matt Chapman. Nobody was going to pay that kind of money for Matt Chapman 6 years. I'm okay with the AAV, but 6 years? Okay, so you want to spend your money? Look, the Dodgers go out and they figure a way. Look, Teoscar Hernandez took less money to go to stay with the Dodgers. He could have went elsewhere. Look, you got to make your team a destination place. You got to make your team where players want to come. There's only 26 men on a team, okay? Guys aren't signing up for the Dodgers to play in their AAA team, okay, in Albuquerque. That's not happening, okay? Or I guess they're in where are they? In OKC now. Okay, I've been around a long time, so you can see the Dodgers used to be the Albuquerque Dukes. Now they're in Oklahoma City. Okay, so that's their AAA. But guys aren't signing up to go to the Dodgers to play for their AAA team. You get my point. There's only 26 jobs. They can't have all of the top players. It's not like, I mean, think about this, guys. Alabama football with Nick Saban. Everybody wanted to go to Nick Saban, to Alabama. And of course, these guys, before the NIL, these guys were getting paid. Everybody was getting paid. Now it's just on the open. But Alabama was, getting all these players and winning. This year, they didn't even make the 12-team playoff. Okay. So this doesn't mean the Dodgers are going to run away with it. You still got to play the game. Upsets happen. Anything can happen in baseball. And I think personally, it's good to have a villain. I remember growing up as a kid, UCLA with John Wooden, the Wizard of Westwood. They won like 10, 12 championships in a row. They were always winning. And I could remember when Notre Dame upset them one time. Front cover of Sports Illustrated, right? Sports always needs a villain. Everybody wants to knock off Goliath, okay? So this year, teams are going to be gunning for the Dodgers, and they're going to be giving it their best. And you know what? When the Dodgers come to town, people are going to show up to watch. So it brings in revenue for those teams. So look, college football now is pretty much, still the best teams seem to, whoever's paying the most, but it's more spread out now. And the same has happened with the NFL when they went to the salary cap and they went to everything where it's more, you've got a hard cap. It made it more parity. But baseball, they can manage themselves. They need a commissioner that will actually do some stuff and actually make some bold decisions and do what's best for the sport. So I think the Dodgers is what they're doing. As a Giants fan, I don't like it as a Giants fan, but you know what? Giants fans, start boycotting the team. Tell your owners that you want more, you want them to spend more. Go out and spend. Look, what did the end of the last season? Big speech by Matt Chapman. Oh, I've been talking to all these people. We're going to come back and we're going to make the playoffs. What have the Giants done? They went out and signed Willie Adames and Justin Verlander recently. That's it. Okay. Giants owners, they don't want to go over the luxury tax. Well, if you want to compete, you're going to have to go over the luxury tax because right now the Giants look like a fourth place team in the National League West. So if teams want to moan and complain about what's happening and the fans, don't show up to your ballpark. Make your owner spend some money. And that's just the simple thing that's going to have to change. People are going to have to push their teams. You keep showing up. The revenue, look, I showed you the revenue. The Giants had $443 million, of revenue last year. Okay. 443 million. How much did they spend? 251 million. Okay. Actually, I take that back. I said 443. It was 465 million. 443 was the year before. So they're still making money because fans are still showing up. And stop supporting losing teams. Make your team spend. Again, let me know what you think in the comments section below, everybody. Does baseball need a floor? Do they need to raise the floor? We got some teams that are spending under $100 million a year, like the A's. and a few others, the Marlins. Look, they're bringing in more revenue. I think maybe the rules should be that you got to spend at least minimum 50%. That might be the thing, 50% of what your revenue is. And maybe there's a range. You can only spend maybe 50 and you can only go as high as 70. Maybe that's where baseball can kind of figure this out. Got to have a floor of 50% and you can only spend 70% of your actual revenue. I don't know. A lot of different things they can do, but I don't know if there's going to be a salary cap in baseball. The collective bargaining agreement ends December 1st of 2026. So we've got the 25 and 26 season coming, and then there could be a work stoppage on its way for 27 season. We'll see where this thing goes, but I vote no, this is not bad for baseball. I want to see more owners spend money and make it more viable, more teams actually competing. Every team should have superstars. Every team, but a lot of teams do not. And it just needs to be done better. So let me know what you think, guys. Do you like the idea of what the Dodgers are doing? Do you dislike it? Is it bad for baseball? Is it good for baseball? Let me know in the comments section below. And we appreciate you watching this video. By the way, guys, we have a new sponsor, and that is Better, B-E-T-R. Check them out they're up there in the upper corner, right-hand corner. Better is the official daily fantasy sponsor of NorCal Sports Network. Click on the link in the description or download the app and use the promo code NCSN for a deposit match up to $250. Do it while you can. Enjoy the app. It's a lot of fun. And thanks for watching again this video. Let us know what you think in the comments below. We'll catch you on the next one. Take care, everybody.